Not so long ago, cars of tomorrow, now cars of today, EVs are steadily taking over the automotive market, and even though models like the 2024 Audi Q4 e-tron don't necessarily bring anything revolutionary in terms of the overall design, they are revolutionizing the market, especially the compact SUV segment, which is meant for high-volume sales. This is a compact SUV for the masses, at least by the standards of premium car makers, with a great balance between luxury and affordability. Therefore, make sure to stay with us as we take a look at all the amazing features of Audi's potential EV bestseller. Introduced 2 years ago, the Audi Q4 e-tron is still a pretty fresh model, so it doesn't surprise that the 2024 model brings minor updates only. The changes are subtle but pretty effective, and the thing that's probably worth mentioning most is the adaptive cruise control, which is now part of the standard equipment. Another interesting novelty is that all models now come with paddle shifters, with which you can adjust regenerative braking levels. Finally, a programmable garage door opener is another interesting addition, though only for higher trim levels, such as Premium Plus and Prestige. Other than these new features, the 2024 Audi Q4 e-tron brings a rather familiar design. This is the second model here in North America, the third in Europe, so it doesn't surprise that the car still looks very fresh. The handsome styling follows the latest design language of the e-tron family and looks particularly similar to the closest relative, the bigger sibling with the Q5 e-tron badge. The two models don't share just aesthetics, but also many parts under the sheet metal, starting from the MEB platform. Other close relatives worth mentioning are models like the Volkswagen ID.4, Skoda Enyaq, etc. Still, the Q4 e-tron, along with the Q5 e-tron, is the most prestigious model in this fine company, and there are many aspects of its design that prove that. For example, there's the suspension setup, which includes a familiar McPherson strut at the front, but features multi-link on the rear end, which isn't the case with mainstream siblings. Of course, this reflects in better ride quality, whether it's about comfort or handling. But the Q4 e-tron is notably more expensive, so it should be compared with premium classmates. And in that comparison, it also stands pretty good, even though there are a few minor things to complain about. The ride feels composed, but the vague steering definitely kills a good portion of the driving experience, so most experts agree that this crossover isn't as engaging to drive as most rivals. Still, where this model is in a solid advantage over the competition is the fact that, just like many other Audi SUVs, it comes in two body styles. Customers can choose between the classic SUV layout and a version with a sloping roof, which Audi likes to call Sportback. If there's a thing Audi knows how to do well, that's the interior design, and the Q4 e-tron is no exception, with a design that showcases the company's latest technological achievements and combines it with conservative aesthetics. Still, we could say that this dashboard feels a little bit more dynamic compared to dashboards found in gas-powered models, but things are still rather conventional, with a few exceptions, such as the squared steering wheel. In typical Audi fashion, the build quality is excellent, while the selection of materials is pretty nice too. All this is complemented by the company's typical gadgets, such as the so-called virtual cockpit, the digital instrument cluster, and decently sized 11.6-inch infotainment screen. Some rival infotainments may feel crisper and more advanced, but we're still admirers of Audi's ability to design such a user-friendly interface. With a 108.8-inch wheelbase and over 180 inches in total length, the Q4 e-tron features typical dimensions for a compact SUV, and things aren't much different in terms of passenger room either. The amount of space is pretty similar to the gas-powered Q5, and even if you pick the Sportback version, the rear passengers won't suffer much in terms of headroom. What's not so great is the cargo area, which is notably smaller compared to the gas-powered counterpart. The standard model offers 25 cubic feet of space behind the second row and a maximum capacity of 53.1 cubic feet with the rear seats down. Surprisingly, the coupe-like Sportback is actually better in this aspect, as it offers a little bit over 26 cubic feet behind the second row and 54.5 cubes of the total cargo volume. Performance-wise, the 2024 Audi Q4 e-tron continues in the same way, in two familiar versions that are pretty much the same as the ones in the mainstream siblings. The base model, called the e-tron 40, is equipped with a single 201 horsepower engine. The acceleration is, let's say, adequate. 0 to 60 takes nearly 8 seconds, but what's more interesting is that the motor is mounted on the rear axle, and even in EV form, a rear-wheel drive Audi is something that takes time to get used to. And that's why we prefer the more capable version called the e-tron 50. That model comes with an additional electric motor at the front and, like a genuine Audi, features all-wheel drive. More importantly, the max output goes up to 295 horsepower, which is plenty enough to complete a 0 to 60 sprint in just 5.6 seconds. With two electric motors, there is plenty of passing power, which makes this crossover perfect for the highway, but only on short distances as the max range isn't particularly great. Namely, no matter which version you choose, the battery is the same. All models are equipped with a 77 kilowatt-hour pack, which provides up to 265 miles on a single charge in the single-motor version. That's okay, but not particularly great for this segment. But models with two electric motors are even worse. These models can make up to 240 miles, which is less than most direct rivals can make with the fully charged battery. Still, that's not the only major consideration. The battery technology by itself isn't the latest word in technology. Even if you find a capable charging station, the best you can get is a 150 kilowatt rate. In practice, this means that 80% of this relatively modest battery will be charged in 36 minutes in an ideal scenario. For comparison, one of the models that is expected to be among the key rivals, the Genesis GV60, has a 2 times faster rate and can charge 80% of the battery in just 18 minutes. As mentioned, the 2024 Audi Q4 e-tron brings a few notable updates in terms of standard and available equipment. However, the overall trim level organization remains unchanged, so there are 3 familiar trim levels on offer. The base model, called Premium, is already a well-equipped machine. The list of standard equipment includes all kinds of tech and convenience features, while the exterior styling stands out with massive 19-inch wheels, LED headlights, and roof rails. Moreover, if you pick a dual-motor version, the S-Line appearance package comes standard. Among standard equipment, you'll also find the aforementioned virtual cockpit and an 11.6-inch infotainment screen, as well as wireless smartphone integration. Among convenience features, you can find 3-zone climate control, heated exterior mirrors, a power liftgate, automatic high beams, a power-adjustable driver's seat, heated front seats, and a panoramic sunroof. If you want even more convenience, the base model is available with the Convenience Package, which includes a hands-free liftgate and keyless entry, wireless charging, satellite radio, garage door opener, memory settings, an auto-dimming mirror, and more. The mid-range option is called Premium Plus, and with this model, features from the Convenience Package are part of the standard equipment. Also standard are goodies like ambient interior lighting, a heated steering wheel, an upgraded digital instrument panel, navigation, and many more. Finally, the Prestige trim sits at the top of the offer, with Matrix Design LED headlights, a heads-up display, an augmented reality navigation system, a Sonos premium audio system, and many more. This trim can be upgraded with the Black Optic package, which is pretty much the ultimate version of the crossover. In that case, you get a bunch of additional visual upgrades, starting from 20-inch wheels, black exterior trim, and black roof rails. The 2024 Audi Q4 e-tron is already here, and it comes with an unchanged MSRP, at least for the entry-level model, which comes with a $50,995 price tag. As for the rest of the lineup, there's a slight increase, but it measures in hundreds of dollars. The Premium Plus starts at around $55,700 with the single electric motor and $61,000 with 2 motors. The range-topping Prestige starts at $66,395. What do you think about the 2024 Audi Q4 e-tron? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.